Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Frick, and today I would like to do a demonstration of something I like to call the MagicStick, which is basically my version of what you see here, the Amazon Fire TV stick. Now, I've done a couple videos before about my NVIDIA Shield, and most recently about my Raspberry Pi that I was selling. But I've recently switched over to selling the Amazon Fire TV stick, and I'll explain why as we go through here a little bit. But this video is going to serve two purposes. One, as a promotional video for anybody who is kind of thinking of picking up one of these from me or even from Amazon and maybe doing all the modding and everything themselves. And secondly, it's also going to be kind of an instructional video. So anybody who's purchased one of these things or has gotten the MagicStick, as I like to call it, or the Fire TV stick from me, kind of instruction video of how to use it, the very basics of what you can do with this thing. So first of all, to answer the question of why I switched from a Raspberry Pi to a Fire TV stick to kind of use as a media player device for a TV, and it's a couple reasons. The first one is it has Wi-Fi built into it. It also has the HDMI built into it, and it comes with a remote and a power source. The Raspberry Pi, which is a computer that is very inexpensive, you have to buy all the extra pieces to it. It doesn't come with any power supply at all. It doesn't come with an HDMI cable or Wi-Fi. So you kind of have to add all those things on, and for someone who is kind of beginning with one of these things, the less likely or the less stuff that they have to add to it, the better for them. So I found that the Fire TV stick was just a better value, and it comes with everything that you need to get started and get going. The only disadvantage is that it doesn't have an Ethernet port to get that hardwired connection that kind of gives you a better connection. So first part of this video is basically an unboxing. I'm going to show you what you get with one of these things if you purchase it from Amazon or from myself. So this is what it comes in, and again, this is from Amazon.com, so you can only actually get it in the United States, or I'm sure you can find it online, places that you can get it brought into Canada. I actually order a few of these at a time, and I live pretty close to the border, so I just go down and pick them up myself and bring them across. And then I do the inner workings to get everything going, and then like I say, I sell them around here. So let's open it up and see what you get. Okay, so the first thing you're going to see in here is the Fire Stick itself. So it's very small. It goes right in the side of your TV, and kind of see if I can get focused here. Yeah, there it is there. So it's an HDMI port on the end, so it just plugs directly into your TV. And then on the bottom there, if it'll focus, there is the power port, which is a micro USB port. So that's what you get. Here's the remote that you get. This is a Bluetooth remote, so that's convenient in the sense that you don't need to point it directly at the device, which makes sense because 9 times out of 10 this will be hooked up to the back of your television, so you're not going to have a good line of sight for the remote. So this is Bluetooth, and you don't have to point it right at the screen. You kind of just hold it down by your side, and it works fine. You can navigate up, down, left, right, and your select button. You have a back button, a home button, a menu button, and then of course your media controls, play, pause, fast forward, and rewind. Underneath here, you have some extra stuff here. Sorry, I'm using my left hand. Some instructions for the Fire TV stick. This is the power cable that it comes with, and also the power adapter is right here. So Amazon does recommend that you plug this into the wall and use this supplied power cord and then plug it into the Fire Stick. Another option is you can actually just use this cord and plug it directly into your TV if your TV has a USB port. But even if you do that, it will actually come up on the screen, and it still recommends that you use the supplied power source. I use it directly into my TV, and it seems to work okay, but the option is yours. Comes with some batteries here for you. Some AAAs, that's for the remote obviously, some Amazon batteries. And this is basically a little HDMI extender. So some people, depending on the setup of their televisions, if your HDMI ports are on the side, it shouldn't be a problem, but sometimes in the back, if they have it wall mounted or something, it's not easy for the user to plug this directly into the TV. So you just plug this in first, and it kind of gives it some flexibility, and then that way you plug this piece into this piece. So it makes it a little more convenient. So that's what you get in the box. Like I said before, it's everything that you need to get going. What I'm going to do now is I'm just going to show you really quickly how you hook it up to your television, and then we'll get right into it and we'll show how it works and what you need to do to get it going. So I'll see you in a minute. Okay, so everybody's TV is obviously a little different. This is the back of mine. This is a 55-inch Samsung TV, and as you can see, it has many different inputs. I'm going to focus on these ones here up the side. Those are your HDMI ports. So any high-def television made, you know, in the last long time will have at least usually 2 of these things. So this is where you're going to plug your Amazon stick or your MagicStick. So here it is. So I'm not using the little extender piece. I don't need to, but I'm just going to plug it right in here. And then what you need to do after that is you need to put the power cord. So let me take the power cord here. Did I put this? Oh, sorry, it's going to get a little shaky here. I'm actually going to put the power cord in first because I did it wrong, because the power cord is on the bottom. Sorry, I'm not going to be able to see this. I'm just going to put the phone down for a second so I can use both my hands. Okay. There you go. So I'm going to plug it in the bottom there. Come on, focus. I don't know why my phone is having trouble focusing today. There we go. Usually doesn't have that problem. So I'm going to plug that right in there. Okay. And then as I mentioned in the unboxing video, you have the other side of this. This can go in the power supply that came with it, or in this case, my TV actually has a couple of these USB ports. So I'm just going to use the power of the television to power the whole thing. And if I want to make it look neat, I can tie up that cord quite nicely. So let's just go over to the television, and you'll see there it's getting started. This is called the FireTV stick. What I'm going to do is I'm going to explain to you what the difference between a regular Fire TV stick is as opposed to what I call the MagicStick. Now, Amazon, of course, has its own video service called the Amazon Prime Video, and that's kind of what the focus of this device is, but of course it has other options as well, which we'll kind of explore here. Another reason why I opted for the Fire Stick over the Raspberry Pi is the fact that it is a version of Android, which means you can add a little bit more to it, and also because it has Netflix. When I demoed my Raspberry Pi, it had the Kodi operating system OpenELEC, which means that that's all it had on it. It couldn't get Netflix on it, whereas this will have both, and we'll explore. So this is your home screen, and use the remote that I showed you earlier to navigate this. So you have your options on the side. Home will just kind of show you stuff that you've looked at recently, and here are your options. Now everything that it shows you on here is through the Amazon rental service. These are not from Netflix. These are not part of the features that I throw on there. They're part of the Amazon service. You can rent these movies if you want on demand. I mean, movies, of course, there's TVs or TV shows. There's also games and apps. Again, this is a version of Android, so there's quite a bit of options. You can actually buy a video game controller for this. That's better for games. Some games you can play with the remote, but it has a lot more options that way. Music, and of course your settings. Now I will let you know, if you do buy this new from me, I do have an Amazon account set up on it, so you can download free apps from the Amazon App Store or from Amazon.com itself. If you want to buy your own apps, and if you want to add other stuff to it through the Amazon Video Service or Amazon Music, anything like that, you will need to create your own Amazon account, and you have to do that on Amazon.com. You can't do that directly here on the device. You do have to do it on Amazon.com. And then if you do that, you can just simply go over to my account, and you'll see here you're signed in as me. You would just click Amazon account and you would hit deregister, and then it will ask you for your login, which is fine. So the main reasons you're probably going to get one of these is to watch movies and TV shows. I'm going to show you Netflix first of all. Netflix. Well, I don't need to really show you Netflix, but Netflix is on it, which is nice. So many people have Netflix nowadays, so that option is there if you need it. I don't think I'm signed in actually under Netflix here. I don't know why my room looks so yellow. That's supposed to be blue. Yeah, whatever. So yeah, you can sign in with, it doesn't come with a free Netflix subscription, unfortunately, but Netflix is such a good deal that that's usually not a problem for anybody anyway. Okay, so let me show you now what makes the MagicStick, as I call it, different than the just the regular FireTV stick. So as I showed in my NVIDIA Shield demo, as well as my Raspberry Pi demo, it ran a system called Kodi. And Kodi is like a complete media center, and I'm going to show you that now. Now, when you get this, you have two ways of opening Kodi. One is to go into apps and loading this, Ikono TV. Ikono TV is actually a completely separate app, but what I've done is because Kodi is not an official app for the Amazon Fire Stick, what we do is we install this Ikono TV, and then we basically change the shortcut so that it goes right to Kodi. So here's Kodi. I'm just going to quit this and show you the other way, because sometimes when you get this device, if you set up your own Amazon account, it will actually delete that software, the Ikono TV. So you have to find Kodi on your own. It's a little more difficult. It's not right on the home screen, but I'll show you where it is. So what you do is you go down to settings. Whoops, over here. Settings, and you go to applications, then you go to manage installed applications, and then you just go down the list here and you find Kodi, click it, and then click launch application. So this is part of the MagicStick. I basically mod these Fire Sticks to have this program, and this program makes a huge world of difference on the value of these things, and makes it so much more worth it. And this is probably what you're going to be using the most. So this is my version of Kodi. So you have movies, TV shows, add-ons, which we'll get to, which is different programs within video, music, and pictures. You also have live television channels. You have live radio stations, local weather, your settings, and then of course to quit to go back to the main home Amazon screen. Sorry. So let's start off with movies. So when you click movies, it'll link you directly into an application called Genesis, and Genesis is a program add-on for Kodi that has several links to new and older movies. So when you click on movies, it'll give you some different options. I always like to pick latest HD movies, and it will bring up some movies that are fairly recent. And then it's a really good-looking setup. You just hover over the movie, and it gives you a description, plot, synopsis over on the left-hand side. You can kind of see there's quite a few new movies here. You go down, you can click next. There's another page. Sorry, the video might be a little shaky here. So all you got to do is basically find one that you want to watch. Maybe the kids want to watch home. You click it, and then what it's going to do is it's going to basically scrape the internet for everywhere where this file is hosted, and for you to stream it. So you're not actually downloading any movies, which as of right now, people in Canada are getting letters for downloading movies. By doing this, you won't get any letters because you're not downloading anything. You're actually just streaming right over the internet. So when you click the movie that you want to watch, it's going to basically bring up everywhere where this file is hosted, and you can see it's sorted by quality. You see HQ, which is high quality, HD, high definition, and 1080p, which is obviously full high definition. The more you go down this list here, it's going to eventually get into possibly MQ, as you see there, is medium quality, and then LQ, low quality. So if we go right to the top, depending on your internet connection, you may just want to try going straight for the 1080p, which is the full high definition. If it skips a little bit or if it buffers quite a bit, you can go down to the high definition, and it might work a little better for you. Again, this uses Wi-Fi, so make sure you're within good range of the internet router, and so it'll work better that way. So I'm just going to click the top one, 1080p, and it's going to open the stream, and it's going to play. It's as easy as that. So you can use the remote. Pressing right will fast forward 10 seconds, left backwards 10 seconds. If you click it a bunch of times, you'll see there it's going from 1 to 3 to 5. If you press the button in the middle, it'll bring up this menu, and if you go to stop, it'll stop the movie, and then you can go to something else. Now, sometimes you're not always so lucky where the top source here, 1080, like the one at the very top, will work right away. In this case, it did. Sometimes you have to go down a few and get one and pick one until it works. So that's how you watch a movie. And as you can see, there's quite a selection. It updates all the time. And again, that's just one of the many add-ons that's on here. I'll just simply go to TV shows. Same idea. Let's go to most popular. And again, all the most popular shows. If we pick, say, Game of Thrones, it's going to bring up all the seasons. You select the season you want. It's kind of set up similar to Netflix in a way. And then pick an episode, and then it'll do the same thing. It'll find everywhere on the internet where this file is hosted. Sorry, I'm shaking even more now because my arms are getting tired. Just switch hands here. And same idea. You just find one that works. So that one didn't work right off the bat. We can go down the list. No, let's try this one here. There we go.
Mr. Louis, send a raven to Pike informing my father of my victory here, and want a Deepwood mock to my sister. Inform her that she's to bring 500 men to Winterfell.
And you can turn those subtitles off too for those people who don't watch it. By default, sometimes they're turned on. So that's the TV shows. Okay, that's TV shows. Before I get into the add-ons, I'll go to the channels. Now, channels is quite interesting. There's quite a few live channels on here. It's not as convenient, obviously, as having cable right into your house, especially for local. But one advantage is you can get channels from all over the world. So, say if I want, I can go through here. You'll see a whole bunch of different categories. Some that you might not be able to get somewhere. You can see that it's sorted by by nationality. Some radio stations on there. So let's just go through. We're back at the top now. Say we want UK TV. So I'll click UK TV. It's going to bring up some channels from the UK. And I'm going to pick BBC News. And it will open a live stream of BBC News. And it's going to be, you know, almost high definition quality, actually.
Cool overnight, particularly in more rural spots. And that's what we're seeing this morning. Major towns and cities, 12, 13 degrees, but out in more rural spots, particularly the north and west, all the way down to 2s and 3s and 5s and 6s further south. So a chilly start, but it's a bright one for many. There will be this thicker cloud.
Okay, so that's a cool option as well to have live channels. You have quite a bit of options here. Sometimes there's some pay-per-view channels, so if there's some sporting events on that you want to watch, those are a possibility. And that's the channel section. If we go to radio, it's going to give us, we can browse, I'll just go to top 100 stations. It's going to bring up, these are all internet radio stations. I'll just go to today's hits real quick, and it will play, Oops, I think I started again. Okay, so there's an option as well. Local weather obviously is local weather. You can set it to whatever. You can set 3 cities if you want to watch see weather from 3 different cities at once. Okay, so let's go to add-ons. So when I showed you movies, TV shows, and the music and the radio and the channels, that was just one add-on. There are tons of add-ons for this thing. If I go to video add-ons, just an example, these are the ones that I have installed on the MagicStick. So 9 gig, which is popular, CBC for Canadians. I got one for Seinfeld, Epic Mealtime, Food Network, Funny or Die. There's a whole bunch. And these are the ones that come with, that I put on myself. Just some ones that I think that most people will enjoy. One for the NBA, one for the NFL, NHL. Sports Devil is like a live sports streaming. So if you're a fan of, say, soccer and you don't get too many soccer games in Canada, or wherever you are, you can go into there. Also in there you can watch live pay-per-views, say UFC or WWE. They're usually on there. TED Talks, one for Ellen, Time, TMZ, UFC, Vivo, which is music videos, Vimeo. So as you can see, I have quite a few on here. YouTube, of course. Now, if I go to get more, so if there's something that you're looking for that you want to watch, I would recommend everybody do this. Go to the Get More section, and it's going to bring up a ton of different add-ons that you can get. So you'll see I'm just going to go page down here. I mean, there's absolutely tons of them. So I recommend everybody kind of go through it once. Just go through all of them and read some descriptions. See which ones you like. So, for example, let me see something that somebody might like. There's so many. Sorry. All right, okay, so let's take this one for example, Kids Place. So if you want to install one, you see one that you like, you just click your button on it. It'll give you a description of it, and then, well, apparently, oh no, you just go to install, click install, it'll download it. And it's done. So then when you go back to your list of add-ons that you've downloaded, if I go up here, oh, did I go too far? Yeah, you'll see that Kids Place is there. Now I can go in there and see some different kids videos. So that's how you add an add-on. So you have that option as well. There's a ton of these things, and that was just for video. There's add-ons for music, and pictures, and programs as well. Okay, so that's Kodi in a nutshell. There's a lot to explore on this thing. This is a feature that does not come on the Amazon Fire Stick by itself. You need to find somebody that can program it in for you. It does take about an hour to do. And as I mentioned, the ones that I sell will have all this on it, and they'll be ready to go, ready for you to enjoy, and endless movies and TV shows at your fingertips. You know, very easy to access. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. Again, this is something that I sell here locally. If you wanted to buy an Amazon Fire TV stick, you can get them directly from Amazon.com. And if you search YouTube, there are ways that you can program these yourself. It is quite advanced, so make sure that you're familiar with this kind of thing. You can damage them if you mess it up. But yeah, that's it. So hope you enjoyed. If you have any questions or comments, simply comment below. And hopefully you enjoyed the Amazon Fire TV stick and all that it can do. All right, have a good day.